And hello, everybody! It is the SpiffyNeedleGeeks. It's Brawl Fan 1, Supersonic 407, and Raushitsu Rises. Platinum Rhythm may or may not jump in whenever he can. His brother is currently playing Breath of the Wild and interrupting his time. Anywho, so today we have a rant.
Well, yeah, I guess for the most part. All right. This was
This
an
is more
idea
so.
BJ had, but he just dragged the both of us into
Yeah,
this.
this is more
And we
so
agreed to
BJ's
go.
time. It's just more BJ's rant, if anything.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, Danny. You also threw in a lot of good points, but yeah. So today was the Pokemon Direct, and so like fun little fact. Ryan and I tried recording a live reaction to it, except the stream kept screwing up on me, so I ended up needing to scrap it. Not a big deal though. It wasn't our reactions weren't really all that spectacular. Mostly because I saw everything coming, like pretty much. Uh, Quick abridge, if you're not aware of the direct. Pretty much they announced Pokken Tournament Deluxe for the Switch, which is pretty much Pokken Tournament, except with the addition of five Pokemon playable characters: Scizor, Darkrai, Krogunk, Empoleon, and Decidueye. And then after that, they gave a little teaser to the next mainstream Pokemon game, which has been called Pokemon Ultra Sun and Pokemon Ultra Moon. And then after that, they also announced that they're going to be releasing Pokemon Gold and Silver, the Game Boy Color versions, on the Virtual Console. That said, all really exciting news, but the internet and the Pokemon community especially threw the biggest unnecessary shitstorm that I've ever seen in my life.
Compared to the million other shitfests that have occurred on the internet.
Yeah, but like this is like and I've seen plenty of times where people have God forbid I go and bring up Sonic. Oh no, the Sonic generation.
From the same people that brought you, oh my god, Sonic's eyes are green. What the fuck? Comes this bullshit.
Or Sky Sanctuary isn't yellow enough, and Sonic Generations. Regardless,
Yes.
pretty much it's pretty much bullshit like that. Like, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
there are plenty of people that got a little upset about them announcing just a simple port of Pokken Tournament, which I wasn't that surprised to hear about, especially considering that they were releasing all these new Pokemon. In the arcade version only. I figured, okay, if they're not going to be DLC, they're probably going to do something for the Switch. So I figured that much. But it's not even so much that I'm seeing. It's mostly the reveal of Ultra Sun and Moon. And my gosh, the rage that I'm seeing is just completely, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Horrendous.
Tomfoolery, I guess.
I guess horrendous tomfoolery.
Yeah, like I've never seen so many people get upset over the reveal of a mainstream Pokemon game. And what's weird is they're acting like Pokemon's never done something like this before, because it's like here like because effectively what Ultra Sun and Moon is, I believe it's effectively, from what I'm seeing, it's effectively what Yellow version is, or what Crystal version, or Emerald, or Platinum. Those games, like Black and White 2 were sequels of Black and White. Those were the first games to actually deviate from what originally happening. But effectively, Yellow version, Crystal version, Emerald version, and Platinum versions. Those were all versions of the same game, but with new content. Changes to the story. It was effectively like an AU kind of thing. Pokemon's always been their own kind of AU games, regardless of such. And the fact that they're going back to that formula for Sun and Moon, except for Ultra Sun and Moon, for some reason upset so many people, and I don't understand why.
Well, you know what? I've seen like oh god, I cannot remember this guy's name, but I do know he posted this on Twitter. Like he posted like a 2-minute video of him laughing his ass off at the announcement of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon because for some reason he assumed that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, those are literally reports of the original Pokemon Sun and Moon. What's up with that? When in actuality, clearly, like these millions of people did not realize that, okay, if they were to look at the trailers that they showed, like during the direct and whatnot, yes, granted, it's the same models, but then again, hello, this is based on the same 3DS game, so what the hell are you supposed to expect? But they still showed a lot of new stuff in those trailers that we never honestly seen if you were to play the original Pokemon Sun and Moon. Like, for instance, from I can only imagine from what BJ gathered at that time, we see like new Z moves, like for Mimikyu and some other and I personally took notice of some new, like some relatively different locations that you wouldn't normally see in the original Pokemon Sun and Moon game compared to the announcement trailer for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about before, and that goes into one of the first things that I don't understand why people are complaining about. They're calling Ultra Sun and Moon lazy. I don't understand why. Because, yeah, it's using the same engine as Sun and Moon. They're going to reuse aspects, but you know what other games did that? Yellow version, Emerald version, Crystal version, Platinum version. And everybody loves those games. Why is Ultra Sun and Moon getting this shit for it?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's like, yeah, exactly. Why throw a shitfest over a concept that's been done before in previous Pokemon games?
And then
The thing with this is, because I mean, I was at work when all this was going on, so I missed this whole thing. But BJ, he sent me the link and everything to the, I guess the initial trailer and everything. So I saw the same 3-minute trailer, and it's like, honestly, out of like that entire 3-4 minute trailer, 20 seconds of it was Ultra Sun and Moon. The rest of it was fucking Pokken, which, sorry if this offends anyone, but I really don't give a shit about Pokken. I'm not really a fighting game person, so I'm like, okay, I'm like, I kind of don't care. I never got into Pokken originally. I'm not a big fighting game person. Like, the one fighting game, if anything, I really do give a shit about is Smash, really. It's like, outside of that, I don't get into the fighting games all that much. Not like, BJ and Brandon especially. So it's like, that's a genre I'm very unfamiliar with. So I'm just sitting here going, okay, Pokken, get it, move on. And then the last 20 seconds, we get Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it's like, really? You're getting upset over 20 seconds of footage? Let alone it's 20 seconds of footage, like, you're not seeing nearly as much gameplay or anything. Like, I honestly kind of wish that maybe they actually like trimmed that Pokken trailer down, like, give an extra 20-30 seconds or something for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon so that we can show off a little bit more. Because I mean, we saw maybe like, yeah, a couple of Z moves, we saw like new forms, and that's essentially it. So it's like, we didn't, in hindsight, it's a teaser. We really did not see anything truly substantial. So that's where I'm just like, what the fuck are people getting upset about?
Well, that's just it. Like, even if they showed like at least 20 seconds of gameplay or whatnot, within that 20 seconds of showing off like that little teaser for fucking Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it showed up at least new content that, yeah, again, going back to the whole comparing the original to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it still showed new stuff that you wouldn't normally see in the first game.
Well, aside from that, like what I personally think, and this is like and this goes into the reason why I think this direct was previewed so close to E3. I think the reason why they tried hyping Pokken so much and only teased Ultra Sun and Moon is because they probably didn't want to bother showing a port of a game at E3 to get it advertised, and just and instead dedicated this direct to it to at least get it out there, without dedicating too much time at E3 to it that they probably don't even want to use, and then only teasing this brand new game, which they're probably going to actually predominantly show at E3.
Right. You know what? Thinking about it now, that would make the most sense. Seeing as how technically, like, if you guys caught wind of the direct, they did show the release date, and it's gonna be released like this upcoming November, if I'm not mistaken.
It's really close.
Yeah, so because of the fact that it has a really fast release date, it's like, yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense to go ahead and just throw out like all of this brand new info about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon so fast or
Well, no, no,
whatnot.
no,
When
no,
it's
no.
like,
That's not what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that they only wanted to tease it for the direct, and then save all the big info for it for the for E3, the biggest
yeah, that
gaming press
was
conference on the.
literally what I was going to get into.
Okay, but regardless of such, it's like what was I saying before that? Fuck.
You fail at ranting.
I fail at
God damn
ranting. I, cause
it.
I go off tangents. I know. But pretty much it's like I said, I don't understand the hate for it in that regard, but there's still a lot of other things that people are complaining about that I just don't get. The dumbest one I think actually is that people are complaining that it's not called Pokemon Stars. Like, it's apparently the idea of Pokemon Stars was like the biggest one. Now I want to ask, why stars? Is it because it's Sun and Moon? Go into into the Gen 7 legendary Pokemon list. Do you see a Pokemon that even remotely resembles a star? No. Clearly, the third legendary of this generation is Necrozma. Necrozma doesn't represent stars. Necrozma represents the absence of color, the prism. And it's gonna be fusing, and that's gonna be fusing with Sigaleo and Lunala in some way, akin to Black and White 2. Cause
And
like
see, here I am just sitting over here going, who gives a shit what it's called? It's an updated version,
well,
like what they always do.
Well,
So who cares?
that's exactly the
Who
point,
cares
though.
what it's called?
That's exactly the point, though, Danny. It doesn't matter what it's called. They could have called it Pokemon Stars. It'd still be the same game. It's not going to change what the game's going to be. It's just a title. That's the dumbest part. And it's like, even then,
Call Pokemon shit show for all I care.
but like
They'll still buy it.
the point that I was trying to get across is that the idea that I'm trying to get across is that stars wouldn't make sense. Yellow makes sense. Pikachu's the mascot. Crystal is Suicune. Emerald is Rayquaza. Platinum is Giratina. It's like, even hell, Black and White too. Gray would have made sense because Kyurem was gray, but no, they just chose Black and White too. So now in this case, like, stars just doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing, BJ. Like, I'm trying to remember. Did they explicitly say if this is the updated version or these actual sequels?
We don't know specifically. You know what? That's the biggest thing. They only teased it. Like,
Yeah,
we don't.
I don't
we
remember if I don't remember them mentioning any teaser, but that's what I was wondering. Like, did it spin or like a tweet or something clarifying just what it is?
Nope, nothing at all. We don't know.
All right, so we wait for. All right, wait next week for E3.
Pretty much.
That's
Yeah,
pretty much what it
exactly.
is.
Yeah. So that aside, like, I know another big complaint that I'm seeing people rage about a lot is the fact that this game wasn't released for Switch. Now, here's my thing about that. It's not too smart. If you're gonna have a direct sequel to a game, I don't think it's entirely that smart to put that game on a different console from the one that the first game was the first one was on. I know some games do that and are fine with it. Like, I know Halo was one where Halo 1 was on Xbox. Halo 2 was Xbox 360, or I forget. I think it was Xbox 360.
Well, it's
Right.
it's one thing when your sequels are on your next updated consoles. That's to be expected. It's another thing when you're pulling something like Kingdom Hearts, where okay, Kingdom Hearts 1 is on PlayStation, is like on the console, but then Chain of Memories is on a handheld, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 goes back to the console, and oh shit, the handheld's fucking canon. And you've got so many people, myself included, that never bothered with the handheld game, go back into Kingdom Hearts 2, and we're confused as fuck for the first half hour because they were referencing shit from, what was on a completely different platform. And Kingdom Hearts continued to do that, mind you. That's part of the reason why the narrative is as fucked as it is, but that's a rant for another day. So, I mean, it's like,
yeah.
I can see where you're coming from with that. I mean, it's like, yeah, if Ultra Sun and Moon are indeed sequels, like Black and White 2, it's like, yeah, I would understand Nintendo wanting to keep the sequels on the same platform as the original, because if you've already played the original and you want to play the sequel, you might as well put it on the same platform.
Yeah.
That being said, if I can play devil's advocate, while I certainly understand it, I can't really fault people for maybe feeling a little frustrated about, why isn't it on the Switch? If only just because, I mean, the entire point of the Switch, the big selling point is the fact that it's a console system that is allowed to be portable. So why not?
Well,
And it's like, I can understand people's frustrations with that because really any other previous Nintendo system, you really couldn't do that. But
well,
now you
here's
can.
yeah,
So yeah, why not?
and here's my argument to
get
that.
that.
Here's my
I can,
argument to that. If they were to do that, the game would not be coming out in November. They'd have to probably rebuild the game from scratch. It would not just be a port, because obviously they're changing a lot of things. So, and I doubt very highly that they're going to be able to use the same engine from a 3DS game to a Switch game. It would have to be completely from scratch. And at that point, why bother? Just make a whole new generation. So, and that also said, like, yeah, and this goes back to the people claiming that the game is lazy. Of course, they're reusing assets with the same engine for the game, but my argument to that is a lot of games do that and no one complains about it. Like every yellow, crystal, whatever the fuck, they all did that. Like and not even just Pokemon. Like off the top of my head, Kirby Planet Robobot did that from Triple Deluxe. No one complained about that. Fuck. I know there's been a few Mario games that have done that. Like Majora's Mask did that. Majora's Mask from Legend of from Ocarina of Time, like that did that. No one complained about that either. Hell, if anything, Majora's Mask was the biggest offender of that. But regardless of such, I'm losing my train of thought here.
Regardless if games have done the concept of using the exact same graphics or whatnot for future installments of games.
But yeah, and like I said, I know what another big thing that people were complaining about. Like for some reason, there are people that were legitimately upset that the game that they released was not only not for the Switch, but was not Gen 8. They were upset that it was Gen 7 again. Are you kidding me? Gen 7 just came out like 7 months ago, buddy.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't take like fucking 3 months to come up with like another 100 plus Pokemon.
Not
right?
aside from making the new Pokemon, and even they don't even have to make that many. Gen 6 and Gen 7 only made less than like 80 apiece. And
regardless, it does not take that long to make new Pokemon. That's what I'm saying.
New Pokemon, a new concept, a new story, new everything. It does not. It does not take that a short amount of time. Like you know what? I will fully agree. I do think Gen 8 should be on the Switch. There's no excuse for that for them not to do that at that point. Gen 7 should stay, for the time being, should stay on the 3DS. And then, Gen 8 aside, people are also complaining, I know, about the fact that the game that was revealed wasn't a remake of Sinnoh.
Okay.
That one I'm a little more skeptical about. I don't know. I feel that one's all on Game Freak's choosing. They chose instead of making Sinnoh remakes to make this new Sun and Moon game. I don't know where I'm going with this one.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. It's based on what I've seen from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl or whatnot. It's I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like I think you probably have to wait at least another. Oh man, probably a few more years before they can before they make the big decision of remaking Sinnoh or whatever.
And that's another game that would have to be made completely from scratch.
Yeah.
So again,
exactly.
The only reason they're going to be getting Ultra Sun and Moon out so soon in November is because they were able to work off the engine of Sun and Moon. but while also being able to change the environment. Because if you, yeah, looking at just the teaser alone, you can see there's a lot of changes to the environment. They're using what they had before and working off from it.
God, oh my God, I cannot believe I didn't think about this earlier. Another game that pretty much did the exact same concept, Oddworld Apes Odyssey and Oddworld Apes Exodus. They use the exact same fucking engine, make something pretty much new from its original, and it still turned out to be a great game. Okay.
And you know
Okay.
what? You know what? While we're on that, on that topic of Let's Play relevancy, Yokai Watch does that as well. Uses the same engine, but
God.
while adding new
Exactly.
content. There you go. So I don't know why that's such a big deal for people claiming that the game was lazy. It's not lazy. It's just it's called innovation. Like they
Whether you
Yeah,
call it lazy or not, it's a fucking teaser. You don't know shit about it. Wait
yeah,
for it.
exactly.
Wait another goddamn week.
Yeah,
That's
and
like
high
that's
hopes
really
that they will actually show off more info about Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon or whatever. Which yeah, I can only imagine they would, seeing as how its release date is a few months away. So
yeah.
I don't see why not, but they
Yeah,
better.
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they will, because I mean, it's like really like with E3, like what is Nintendo going to show off? They're going to show off upcoming stuff for the Switch, duh. But then, along with like some of the new stuff on the Switch, the people are going to be asking, okay, what about Pokemon related stuff? What about Mario related stuff? What about Zelda related stuff? They want to hear about what are you bringing as far as like your biggest titles and really, for Pokemon, that's pretty much, I think, what they're going to be focusing on, really. Yeah, it's either that or Pokken Tournament. And I don't really, I'm trying to think. I know Pokken Tournament came out and everything, like the original Pokken Tournament. Was that like well received or anything? Like, did that go over? Nintendo just kind of like, sweeping down the rug, like, yeah, here's the update, moving on.
not internationally. It was very well received in Japan. I know,
But it didn't make any waves over here.
not so much.
Okay. That would probably explain why they're not gonna talk too much about Pokken at E3 of all
Yeah, like
places.
they announced at the very least that at E3 they are going to be holding a Pokken tournament, like a Pokken turn, a Pokken tournament, like an actual tournament for the game at E3.
Okay.
People
That makes
are
sense.
going to be able to play it there, and that's also another big reason why I think why they wanted to announce this game in this direct a week before E3 to get people aware of it, to know that okay, it's also going to be playable at E3.
Okay.
And then just for good measure, they felt like teasing this new Pokemon game, which they're probably actually going to be focusing on at E3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to recall.
I don't know. To me, it just seems like people I think have their expectations set way too high, and it's like I get it. It's Pokemon and everything. Pokemon is a big deal. I do like me some Pokemon and everything, but it's like yeah, like some of these complaints are like ill-founded, or it's just like again, it's
Misplaced.
like you're jumping to conclusions when we don't have that much to really go by and everything. It's like once this shows up at E3 and we get some more details and everything, then I think we'll have a little bit more grounds to like criticize if it's necessary.
Yeah, but for the
But
time,
I mean, it's because like in all honesty, I mean it's like it's really 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 difficult to like I think properly criticize a 20-second teaser without sounding like an entitled little bitch.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. At this point,
it's
you just unnecessarily jumping the gun.
it's called hypocritical criticism. Like they're like because the things like the big things that I'm hearing people complain about are either things that are like I said, as mundane as a title, or as mundane as what console it shows up on, or this goes into the more hypocritical part. They're complaining about things that they were perfectly fine with in the past.
Right, exactly.
So I guess that pretty much covers it. Like off the top of my head, what I wanted to get out there. Like, do you guys have any other final thoughts?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything.
Yeah. So like I guess I guess leave in the comments below like what your thoughts about everything is. You know like we'll we'll discuss it with you in the like I'll discuss it with you in the comments as well. I don't think these two actually care. um yeah, like
Yep.
because I know the big thing that we haven't actually talked about yet is I'm excited. It's a new Pokemon game, new stuff. Like I was excited to see that Lycanroc and Mimikyu are getting their own exclusive Z moves,
Oh yeah.
especially the Mimikyu's that involves him probably killing people, considering that his Z moves involves him uncovering his cursed body. But you know,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I'm excited, and I'm also excited about the new Pokemon tournament. I wish I could have predicted, you know, better because I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. I wish I could have better predicted when it was coming, so that way I could have returned my Wii U version of Pokemon to hopefully get more of a buck out of it. Because you know the resale price for that just went down today.
Yep, and I'm so glad that I did not bother buying the Wii U version of Pokken Tournament when it came out.
Regardless. In which case, that'll do it from us, ladies and gems. Join us pretty soon, actually, because you know we were talking about a lot of E3 as of late. Next discussion video you can see from us will be a pre E3 thoughts discussion video. So look forward to that, and we'll see you then.
Toodles.